Talktainment Radio, worldwide sound. Talktainmentradio.com. We give you a reason to come. The world's greatest radio. We give you a reason to stay. Radio, the way it should be heard. You got the power.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and not necessarily those of TalkTainmentRadio.com, the management, the staff, or K&E World Network, LLC.
Praise the Lord, everybody. I'm Karen Mitchell. How do I move forward in purpose? I would love for you to join us tonight, and joining me to discuss this is LATISHA, JAMAR. How do you move forward in purpose? How are you doing tonight, LATISHA?
I'm doing real good, Karen. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here with you today.
Awesome. We are talking about purpose.
Yes.
We all know what purpose means. Purpose is the reason for which something is done or created.
Yes.
And so for those of you who are purpose driven, this is for you to talk about purpose. LATISHA, what is it that has driven you to your purpose?
Wow, that's a big question. What's driven me to my purpose is actually, honestly, pain. A lot of pain, enduring a lot of things through childhood, through adulthood, a lot of different experiences, and just it put me in sync and put me in a place where I came to grips with who I am and fundamentally how that incorporated together and, pushed me towards my purpose, which is to motivate and inspire people to get over maybe childhood barriers or things that have set them back in life, certain traumas. So that's what's helped me. Pain has helped me be pushed more towards my purpose.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think for some of our listeners, they might can concur with that because pain is oftentimes the driver for most things that brings on change,
Yes.
brings on newness, brings on transition. Because one thing that we don't like as human beings is the experience of pain.
That's right.
But a lot of times pain is what pushes you or drives you or even grows you up, in so many words.
That's definitely true. And what I noticed about a lot of the pain that I went through as a child is sometimes the pain can be crippling. So the process for me and what I try to help with and push towards as far as moving forward. So you have this pain, and then pain creates fear. So when the fear sets in, you become crippled. And then with the crippledness, you're stuck in a place. I want to speak to that place of being crippled and bound and stuck. And I want to say, this is what you can do. This is how you can rewire your mind. That trauma doesn't have to dictate the rest of your life. You can choose to change. You can choose to face the pain. You can choose to allow yourself to hurt from the pain, allow those feelings, embrace those feelings, and move forward.
Now, is this what your ministry or your mentoring program, Formula 4, is this what it deals with, the pain of a person?
The pain of a person, it actually deals with the denial also of pain for the person. It deals with whatever in your mind is a bridge. Like, so you're on this place and you have all these ideas, all these things that you would like to accomplish. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have procrastination, or it's just not getting done. I want to bridge the gap so that way you get past that position, deal with whatever is happening that won't allow you to get to that other side of the spectrum to be able to, live your best life,
You are listening to us on talktainmentradio.com, watching live on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in Talktainment 2 and watch us live. Call in 1-877-932-9766. Again, 1-877-932-9766. So, LATISHA, as we're going into dealing with pain and causing it to be purpose, would you say that pain is something that sets your path for purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have to endure that pain. So I believe the best teacher is experience. If I don't go through anything, and typically the things you go through, pain and embarrassment is what makes a change happen.
Yes, it is.
So once you go through the pain, somebody embarrass you, you're not going to forget that.
Yeah,
it's going to create and it's going to inflict change. But I believe with pain also, as you go through things, sometimes we can hear things and it goes one ear and out the other if it doesn't have anything to make it stick. I believe the pain is what makes that thing stick. And as you remember it, play it over in your mind, you go over it in your mind, it starts to like concur. If I could just describe to you in my mind, I see like a tornado. It starts to create a whirlwind inside you, and you because you ask the questions, why am I going through this? Why me? How me? I didn't deserve this. So I call them self-seeking questions. As you ask those questions, then purpose is being birthed out of that pain. In that position of question.
And I think sometimes that's where people tend to go round and round and round and round again because they never deal with the real pain that has caused them to be stuck.
Yeah.
And sometimes if we were to talk psychologically, they bury it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they act as if it never happened.
That's right.
But one thing about pain, if you don't deal with it, we have a caller. Hi, caller. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, lady?
Oh, we are awesome.
Awesome. I'm enjoying the show.
Oh,
I was calling in. Yes, I was calling in because I was listening to LATISHA talking about the formula that she had for us to be able to overcome the pain that we've endured through life by changing the way we think. And I was just, that blew me back. I was just wondering how would I ever go about finding her ministry, the Formula 4, and how could I get involved and enrolled in classes? What all does she offer?
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. That's a great question, and thank you for inquiring. You got me smiling ear to ear now. So you can contact me at www.formula4motivation.com. And at that website, you can set up a free 30-minute consultation where we'll kind of see in what place you are and what position you are in and develop a personalized plan to get you from that place to the next. The formula is actually acknowledge, educate, change, and grow. So once you contact me, like I said, we'll kind of figure out where you fall in line in line with that, and then we'll develop something specifically for you. But also on Facebook, you can just contact me at LATISHA JAMAR. And what I do is a 5 a.m. Chronicles is what I call it. So even outside of giving you like a written agenda, I actually demonstrate to you how to move forward as well. I'm a demonstration every day at 5 a.m. So definitely tune in.
Wow. Okay, I definitely will. I just was so moved by you saying, it starts with the mind. I just agree.
Yeah.
There's so many people that's stuck in the everyday routine of trauma that has happened without understanding the formula of just basically a mind shift.
Yeah.
So that was good to me. I'm definitely going to the website and reach out to you. And you said Facebook for your morning chronicles, correct?
That is correct. LATISHA JAMAR on Facebook for the 5 a.m. Chronicles. www.formula4motivation.com for Formula 4 for the one-on-one. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And Karen, I just love you. I love the show. I tune in every Monday. You've been inspiring me to do different things. So thank you for your time on the radio.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
awesome.
you.
You're welcome.
These are awesome.
You ladies be blessed.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. We have great listeners.
Yes.
We really do. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope and my prayer is that we say something, we do something to motivate you.
Yes.
And we really kind of discussed kind of like, okay, where we're going to go tonight. And we came up with purpose because purpose is something that everyone has. Everyone that's born has a purpose. And it is you connecting with your purpose that brings on the power of your purpose. And so you have to find out what your purpose is in life. Once you find out what your purpose is in life, then you will get a momentum that will take you into transforming and changing not just your life, but other people's lives. You agree with that, LATISHA?
Oh, I definitely agree with that. Yes, I definitely agree with that because, like you said, purpose is something everybody can participate in. It's a part of us all. That's why we're here. We're here for something to, to touch somebody's life in some type of way. So I definitely agree with that.
We have another caller. Hi, caller. How can we help you?
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to say this show every Monday is thebomb.com.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Every Monday we get excited more and more to see what's next on the show. So I just want to say that first. And then my next question that I have is in talking about pain, how do you help people to not only deal with the pain, but to deal with the trauma from the pain?
Oh, that's a great question.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Definitely.
So what I would do as far as helping them, first of all, I want to get you to a place where you actually acknowledge that you're in pain. Because if you're in denial and you're compartmentalizing your pain, we have to first reach a place that we can both agree that something has happened to you that has hurt you. And as a result of this hurting you, this thing that is hurting you, this trauma, you have these certain actions. Then let's break down the action. Why are you doing these things as a result of the pain? Is it inflicting more pain on top of the pain? Like, where are you escaping to in your pain? So basically, we would just dig and go to the root of that pain and just address that and allow ourselves to hurt from that. Embrace the pain because there's no other way around it, honestly. You have to look the pain in the face. You have to accept that it happened. You have to, either forgive yourself or forgive the person to be able to move forward and just acknowledge that it was a thing that happened and figure out what we can do from there to move forward.
And also, caller, trauma is something that even emergency rooms have to think fast to address. So, trauma, we know, is something that has suddenly hit a thing or has occurred to the extent of where sometimes it can send the person that it has happened to into shock. And sometimes shock goes into denial. And so, like LATISHA said, we have to bring a person back to realizing, for one, that it happened, and then another thing to get them to understand, if you can understand, why it happened. And sometimes the most craziest thing to say to a person is, it happened so you could help someone else. I think if I revisit most of my greatest traumas, because we're going to stick with your word tonight, caller. If I could use most of the traumas that happened in my life, they were used now as I've grown and as I've dealt with them and as I process them. They were used now so that I can help someone else that has came to the same trauma or to a likely trauma that was like the one that I was delivered from. So I think that that word that you use tonight, trauma, is a big word. And I know that we can go deeper into it, but just touching the surface of it, I think that it is something that you have to address quickly.
Yeah. It's kind of like a cold red, if you will.
Yeah.
It's like she said, it's definitely emergency.
It's a cold red
It's a cold red kind of situation.
So deep.
That's true.
Wow.
That's true.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Awesome
Thank
question.
you.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, you are listening to us on talktainmentradio.com and watching live on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in Talktainment 2 and watch us live. Call in 1-877-932-9766. Again, 1-877-932-9766. I'm still feasting off of trauma.
Yeah.
LATISHA, you know I am, because that's a big word. That's a big word. And I think, and I'm just going to relate it back to my comfort zone, which is ministry. I think that what has happened to a lot of people that dove into church world or ministry world, I think that at some point they hit trauma.
Yeah, they definitely hit trauma. But you know what is amazing about that coming into ministry? It's like you come from trauma and then you come into trauma.
Yes.
And when it's trauma on top of trauma, and nobody's dealing with the actual original trauma nor the trauma that's like, just consuming you on top. It's just bombarding you. You're just going from one traumatic situation to the next without getting healed. And it's like we have to stop. And we have to deal with it. So that way, because things are going to happen. We're not exempt from that. Things are going to happen. Unfortunately, sometimes the most traumatic things happen in ministry, which should be a safe haven. So it's like we're not exempt from it. It's going to happen.
Yes.
But at what point do we stop? Do we deal with it? And sometimes even in dealing with it, even when it is someone else's fault, we have to just stop and say, but that was their fault, but this is my life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's the cold red, like, boom, hit that button. This is my life. I don't want to be in this place anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think unless we deal with it to some extent, unless we acknowledge it to some extent, we're going to be in a place of trauma, going from one traumatic situation to the next.
Well, remember, we have another caller. Yes, caller, how can we help you?
Hello, Karen. I just
Hi.
wanted to call in and let you all know that I'm listening. I'm so glad that you're doing this show on this evening. And I appreciate what the last caller had said about the trauma and how you had mentioned that we go through certain traumas and certain situations for someone else. So I do have a quick question, though. So after we acknowledge the trauma and after we address the trauma, how do we continue to walk in our purpose?
That's a great question.
Yes.
You educate yourself. So that's the formula. Acknowledge, educate, change, and grow. That's the formula that I offer to be able to move forward. So just educate yourself. If it's about, your current situation, your mentality, why you're in emotional state, if you need self-awareness, if you need self-love, whatever it is that you're trying to get free to move forward to, start to educate yourself about that. And then and as you do that, now that's replacing the trauma. In a sense, it's like giving you the ammunition you need and the ambition you need to be like, okay, I'm fueling myself. I got some information now. I can utilize this information to, start a changing process, because now I know what to do. Before I didn't know what to do or how to handle it. I just knew I was consumed. But now I've acknowledged that this is a thing. I've even educated myself on what this thing is and how it keeps you bound. You know what I mean? Because we were talking a little bit about psychologically how it affects you. You can actually feel trauma in the mid part of the back of your head. Like for me, in my trauma, when I get overwhelmed, or it was situations I get really overwhelmed, it starts to, I feel it in the back of my head, and it's a separation. So my prayer for God was always, at a point, make the connection. Remove the trauma and make the connection. But you educate yourself, and that makes room for you to be able to grow.
And also, caller, if I can chime in here, you have to start to pushing you,
Yeah.
beyond what has happened, beyond what didn't happen, beyond what has caused you to stop.
Yeah.
You've got to start speaking to you.
Yeah.
And tell yourself some real truths, like I won't die here, like I will reach my next destination. I will get to the place that I have always desired to get to. I will accomplish my dreams. For some of us, a dream is just going to Disneyland. I will go on a vacation.
Yeah. I will too.
So, you have to start moving. You have to start saying, no longer will I allow fear, doubt, and trauma to keep me stuck.
Yes.
I will now change that out for purpose, life, and living.
Yes.
And I'll begin to move forward with those things.
And I think you kind of touched on something also, being honest.
Mm-hmm.
It starts from a place of being honest. You have to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be a thing where it's always somebody else's fault. It takes looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, what are some things that I've done, or what are some things that I can do to make this situation, my life, better. So yeah, honesty.
Yes.
You have to be honest with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even if it is somebody else's fault.
Yeah. Because sometimes it is.
You still gotta move from it.
Yeah, you do.
You understand what I mean? And especially, childhood things.
Yeah.
Because if we all were to tell the truth about it, I'm quite sure everyone has a childhood incident that they could go back and just lay in and say, okay, this is the reason why I'm not successful.
Yeah.
But it needs to become your reason to be successful.
That's right.
And you all, I got to tell you, I tell you this every time I get in front of you. This is not the time to say you're not going to do something.
Yeah.
This is the time to say, I'm going to do everything I was born to do. I'm going to complete everything that I need to complete, because this is the completing time. This is the time to do everything that your mind says. I keep telling y'all, it's the now season. And if you don't grab hold to the now, and everybody keeps saying, well, what if my time is up? There's no limit on time, on now. Now has no limit. It has no start. It has no end. It is when you arrive to it. So get into your now season and begin to move. Begin to finish. The finishing spirit. We speak that to y'all. The finishing spirit. So Carla, I hope we've helped you. I hope we've answered something that have blessed you.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Your caller's showing mad love today.
Yes.
Come on, callers.
I love them. I love them. I definitely.
And they love you too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But you said something. It's like everything you described in my thinking process. That's how you face your fear. It happened, but you look it in the face, and then that becomes your energy to move forward. It happened. I'm not going to die in this. I'm not going to continue to be stuck in this. I'm going to use this to its, advantage, and I'm going forward with this. And then I'm going to tell my story. And then once I tell my story, then she's going, this person could get free from it, because maybe they're going through something as similar as I'm going through. So that's basically it. That's how you talk back to fear, as it's talking to you.
Yes. And definitely use your words. Because as we found out earlier this evening, words have a lot of power. And so we want to begin to speak life to whatever dead situation is in our life. Begin to speak life to it, and begin to say, you know what, I'm more than a conqueror. I'm going to move from this place. Even if it's the only thing that I do, I'm going to get up from here.
Most definitely.
And get to the next place.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
And it's like you the words, because just the words that you choose, because when you change your words, you change your thinking. Now those thoughts that normally circle around in your mind, I can't do this, oh, you won't finish this, oh, you can't, you know what I mean? You're changing your words. So then they do change. I am more than a conqueror. I can do all things. I'm equipped for this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna finish the task. I'm gonna finish the goals. I'll set some goals. So words are very much powerful. And then as you change your words, you change your mind. And as you change your mind, then action comes into play. So now you're doing things different. And before you know it, life as you know it is altogether different. And it's like, yes, just because you decided to look your fear in the face and say no more.
Yes.
Yeah.
And change the lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crush the lie.
Yes,
and
yes.
turn it into a truth.
Yes.
Turn your situation into this truth.
Right.
That was a lie what was spoke to me.
Right.
That was a lie what I even told myself.
Yes.
This is my truth, and now I'm going to live in it.
Right.
Now I'm going to prosper in it. Now I'm going to move in it. Now I'm even going to grow in it.
That's right. That
Because
I'm sorry, I got excited. It's like that kind of, it reminds me of Beauty for Ashes.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell my truth in this moment. This happened, yeah, but my truth of it is this.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just got I got excited. Beauty for Ashes.
Yes. So we have to make some realities come to pass. And when you talk about purpose, I'm telling you, I'm just reaching out to the audience today. I feel that it is people watching us. I feel that it is people listening to us that have great purpose. And for some reason, you have sat down and said, you know what, it's too hard. I don't have anybody to help me. I don't have the money. I don't have a mentor. No one believes in me. Yeah. Well, I come to let you know I believe in you. And I believe that your purpose is something that the world needs. Yeah. And if that's what you need to get up, then come on and get up.
Yeah. Get up and live. Get up and live.
Yes.
It's like you said, just purpose, like, and whatever it's created, it could go one way or another, because it's created to go against you and have you defeated, or you can turn that around.
Yes.
So, and I'm a demonstration for that, because we're not ever going to get to a place where we don't struggle with something, because we're not perfect people. So what I do on my 5 a.m. Chronicles, I didn't even mean to start this, but this is just how God is. He'll
Yes.
give you something to help his people.
Yes.
So I decided I've struggled with depression, just a little bit of history, generational depression. So, and then in that, if you've ever been depressed or know somebody who is depressed, you sleep a lot, or you can't sleep a lot. You fatigue, you're tired. So I could sleep days. I've missed plenty of jobs, not waking up. Just too early for me. Certain times I just wasn't going to do it. I graduated from being able to sleep all day to around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I was delivered from that, and now I'm getting up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. But my desire has always been to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was the time that I wanted to choose to commune with God. And so it's like I've never been able to get it. I've never been able to conquer it. And so I decided with my whole heart that this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it by any means necessary. So I'm saying that to say, once you make a decision and you mean it wholeheartedly, everything will start to change. Yes. And this is like, I'm going into my 3rd week of getting up at 5 a.m. And it's just been a blessing. And so I'm saying that to say, it's a demonstration. Do I have thoughts in my head that try to counter what I'm doing? Yes. I wake up at 4:50 and I look at the clock. I did that so I can snooze a couple times. Yes. So I look at the clock and I'm like, oh, not today, maybe 5:30. Then my decision making process kicks back in, and I'm like, no, I'm getting up now. So it's a decision. It's not going to be easy, but if you keep at it, stay the course, fight for your life.
Yeah, come on.
Fight. Push yourself to be better and do better. And as you start accomplishing, it's going to do so much for you. You're going to continue to push. You're going to push further. Before you know it, you'll be limitless.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You'll be limitless. So yeah, just definitely push.
Yes. And that's what birthed the Now season.
Yeah.
I'm always talking to my plus sizers because I had came to a place where I'm like, you know what, I can't do it. Even down to the radio, our show, it was like, you know what, I can't do it because, I failed to lose the weight. And I'm going to start this diet. And, for our plus sizers, we start a diet every Monday. But hey, something said it's your now season.
Right.
Whether you're ready or not, get up and move.
Right now.
And so that's what we're doing. We'll be back to talk more on your purpose, moving towards it, moving forward.
Let's talk.